Welcome to the Newport Mastermind Collective, where we bring together thought leaders, financial experts, and innovators to discuss strategies for building and preserving wealth. I am your host, Richard Riva. Today's episode explores how parents can pass down their values, wisdom, and life lessons to the next generation through what we call a legacy letter. Today with me is Dat Nguyen, our mortgage specialist, and Greg Reese, our estate and tax expert. Gentlemen, great to have you back.
Always good to be here, Richard.
Wow. Good to be here.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, although we're going to highlight a workshop provided by Blake Brewer today and sponsored by Wealth Management Solutions for Families to Access, we're going to go right into why is it important for families to pass down their values and wisdom alongside financial wealth strategies. So the first question I have then to Dat as a lender, right? What do you feel is, and do you see the importance for families to pass down values and wisdom along with financial wealth management?
Well, as a lender, I see firsthand how understanding family values and financial literacy impacts how clients approach wealth. It's not just about the money, Richard. It's about the mindset and principles that guide their decisions and how they got here.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Greg, what do you see on your side, especially on your estate side, when we're talking about family values?
It's interesting. This question comes up, and just to share a quick story. So my kids are college age right now.
Right.
For several years, they like to poke around the edges. They want to know how much money dad makes and what we're worth. They know the kind of house we live in. They can kind of go on Zillow and figure it out, right? But they're always curious about that. I'm just thinking it's none of your darn business, right? You're too young. But then I got thinking, I don't know exactly why they're asking, other than maybe to compare themselves to their friends, their family, whatever. But it occurred to me that just as I have to learn to be a good steward of the resources that I've been blessed with and work hard for to take care of my family, I need to pass that down to my kids. I need to make sure that they're going to be good stewards of the resources as well. So for me, it's really about a holistic approach of estate planning, how to pass things on, with the control and the efficiency that you want without having to suffer from the expenses and time delays associated with probate, for example.
Right.
How to protect the assets that you have in this litigious society that we live in as well.
Yeah.
In addition to that, understanding taxes, understanding investments, understanding basic money management principles. So for example, as you know, one of our collective givebacks to our community is financial literacy training. We've all put online now. We've got great modules, good for anybody. And I've made sure that my kids have gone to the sessions that we put on. I make sure that they go through and do the coursework. And then we talk about it. We ask questions. I also, I'm starting to have them sit in on meetings with our financial advisor, sometimes with our accountant. I want them to kind of see what's going on. We own investment property. So I drag them up when a repair needs to be done, or we need to do an inspection, or if there's some work to be done, I make sure that they kind of get a sense of what it takes. Because one of the things I find, without hogging up the conversation, is a lot of my clients that have investment property, it seems like their kids is a different generation. They don't necessarily want to keep that investment property legacy going.
Right.
And sometimes that's detrimental to the client, because as they're getting older, it's harder and harder to manage these things.
Right.
And they seem to be often hanging on so they can pass it to their kids.
Right.
And when I see them struggling with this, I ask them a very simple question. I say, have you talked to your children? Have you asked them what they would do with your investment properties in the event you were to pass away suddenly?
Yeah.
80% of the time, they come back to me and they say, oh, the kids said they would sell it yesterday. I go, then why are you beating yourself up?
Yeah, that's a really
Right.
great point. It really is about creating a lasting impact, shapes character and the purpose of future generations, not so much about the assets, but more about the value. I think also part of that is how you build your own legacy. And I'm kind of curious, Greg, in the sense of the communication, how have you put that communication together for your kids in addition to dragging them to the real estate sites?
Well, I think you're gonna dive right into the legacy letter as a good opening here. And a legacy letter, you can give us a better description of it. The legacy letter is just a really great way to holistically put your thoughts on paper for your family that talk about your beliefs, things that are important to you in your life, and not just about money, not just about stuff like that, but really about guiding principles.
Yeah. No,
Why we do
it's,
what we do, not what we do, so much as why we do what we do.
yeah, you're right. It's a deeply personal communication and it includes stories, advice, reflections. It's designed to help kids understand their family's journey and the principles that guided their decisions, hopefully to help steward them. And unlike,
Right. So,
yeah, go ahead.
so I'm sure a lot of people listening right now,
Mhm.
how does one get started with writing a legacy letter, Richard?
Blake Brewer is the gentleman that put this piece together. He's on a
Hmm.
campaign to write 1 million of these letters or help families write them. So we sponsor his workshops. So, quite frankly, if they just go to our website and sign up, we have a code in there. And we'll put that at the end here at the end of the podcast. But if they sign up on a particular day that we're hosting, or for that matter, if they just want to go in and utilize it, it's a free workshop because we sponsor it. And they can write their letter right there during the workshop or take as much time as they need to.
Hmm. Got it.
Yeah. So I think we'll put the link to the workshop in the footnotes. So
Yeah.
so legacy letter adds a personal emotional dimension to estate planning process, and I'm going to go back to Greg on the sense of incorporating any of that in wills and trusts and focusing on distribution. What are your thoughts, Greg, in the sense of how communicating your values helps kids in their distribution phase?
That can be a really to your estate plan. So your estate plan is really going to be the legal core guiding documents that navigate management authority and distribution and management and all those things. But having a letter attached to that document to give a little bit more purpose
Mm,
and thought behind the family goals. I mean,
yeah.
whether it's philanthropic, whether it's caring for others, whether it's taking time out to be of service in the community,
Yeah.
using your resources as a good steward, whether you're religious or not. There's usually going to be some aspect of that in the family that they
Right.
supported causes. The other thing about that I think is important is to really highlight who your chief fiduciary advisors are. Who helps my family?
Yeah.
Do they know? Do my advisors know my wife and kids? Do my kids know them? Who
Yeah.
are the people to turn to that if you need help, whether it's taxes or if it's lending or if it's management of real estate or if it's financial advisory, how do we make sure that they're connected into my team of advisors?
Yeah.
Because that's, to me, the most important thing that's going to help guide them as they learn.
Yeah.
Because they're young.
Yeah, you're right. It's designed as a ongoing guidance, whether you use a family retreat, whether you just discuss your estate plans, it really does build the baseline of that communication. I'm going to check in with that in the sense of the side that you see, because you deal with clients at a very good time of their life of buying a home or refinancing their home. But those elements that I see in the communication, is there a component that you're seeing on your side that a value legacy communication would be helpful in those decision processes?
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the time, well, let's start with two parts.
Mhm.
One is your first time home buyers, right?
Right.
They're buying a home. Most of the times, it's because they're starting a family or they just got married, right? There's a big emotional decision tied to buying their first house. The other part is people who are upsizing, right? They are selling their home or buying a new home because they got additional family members in their family. So with the legacy letter, they can provide a lot of intentional things that they've gone through, mistakes, how to build wealth. There's just so many elements to it because most of their decisions that has gotten them to this point and why they're doing it is to leave a legacy behind, right?
Right.
They're not just buying a house to just live in, right?
Right.
Like you might find some, but most of the people I've helped, they're all doing it not just for themselves, but for their family.
Yeah.
And that's the importance of this legacy letter is to leave not just assets behind, but lessons and values
Yeah.
with their heirs as well.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. And you're right. It is a ongoing communication. And sometimes people will write their legacy letter to a 1-year-old, or even even in the hopes and dreams of a child coming, right, all the way up to grown adult children, that they want to make this communication. And yes, starting off early, I think was probably beneficial, but quite frankly, the more time you see your children grow, the more character you see of them, the more you have experiences with them, quite frankly, the more personalized that letter can be. So it really is designed across the ages.
And here's the thing too, right? Time flies, right? The older we get, the faster life goes, right?
Right.
And most of the time, your first house is not going to be your last house. So it's great to see the legacy letter, or revisit the legacy letter when you move into your next house and you do a new legacy letter for your family. So it's just something that's sentimental that you can look back on.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think they can be redone quite often and reread often. I think that's another issue. So this episode of the Newport Mastermind Collective podcast provides actionable insights for families to preserve their values and wisdom through legacy letters and ensuring their impact extends far beyond their financial wealth. So I want to thank Greg and Dat for being here today.
Always a pleasure, Richard.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Greg. Yeah, and thanks to our listeners. Don't forget to check out the link to Blake's workshop, Start Crafting Your Own Legacy Letter. And until next time, this is the Newport Mastermind Collective, and we'll look forward to seeing you in our next podcast. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Right. Around, gentlemen.
Yeah, good job. All right, so let's get this up and running here, and I'll stop this.